Today I'm going to spice it up a little bit for you. Normally you see on my channel a lot of travel, action, adventure. However, for the newcomers to my channel, if you're curious what I do, here's a link for you. This is a Sweden series that I'm releasing at the minute. Every Sunday will be an action adventure video. Today I'm actually very, very excited to share with you my brand new car, if you can call it brand new. You see, I was in need of a car because Lily is starting a job soon, so she's got the main car. We say we share a car, but really I'm her chauffeur. I have been her chauffeur for God knows as long as I can remember. However, I forced her, you must learn to drive because it's good. When you get a job, you need to drive yourself there. I'm not taking you. And that's what's going to happen soon, and I'm very excited for her. However, I am in need of my own personal vehicle, a second car of the house. But I wanted something low cost, low to run, and something that's gonna hold its value for once. At least hold your value. And that's a hard push. Everyone knows that when you purchase a new car and as soon as you drive it off the forecourt, it devalues a huge percentage. Unbelievable. And that is why I have gone old school, I have gone classic. And utmost, that is why I have bought my very first classic car in the year 2020. So let's go and have a look.
Just keep on hurt, but I won't be the one to change you, and you won't be mine. No, you won't be mine. Like Eve in the garden when the evening came. How could I believe you, fooled and ashamed? I was tempted, but tempted I'm no more. I've attempted.
It's a 1974 MGB GT. GT standing for the coupe model. A bit like it's meant to be the poor man's Aston Martin DB5, you know, out of James Bond, the James Bond car in silver. Yeah, a lot of people have got them in that colour as well. Very pretty car. It's a 1.8 litre engine with twin SU carburetors and runs on stinky old leaded petrol, and I for one love that old smell. You know, some people have a particular smell they like paint drying, or you know, it's normally intoxicating smells that people like or have a liking to. Mine is unleaded petrol. I do quite like it. This one in particular has a 4-synchro gearbox, and it can get from 0 to 60 in 11.6 seconds. Good for its time. And it can reach top speed of over 100 miles per hour. So this 1974 model comes with overdrive fitted as standard. Now overdrive, if you don't know what overdrive is, basically the gearbox in this has only got 4 gears on it, and those gears are quite long compared to some of the modern cars nowadays. Overdrive, basically in 3rd and 4th gear, you can just flick a switch. It's so nice and simple. I can compare it to my Kia at the minute. It's got an eco button for the motorway, and it's just an extra gear, a half gear, to get more mileage and make the engine run much more smoother and quieter on the motorway, so you're not just revving it at 70 down the motorway. Surprisingly, for an affordable sports car of its era, it boasts a 9.6 cubic of flat storage space, and it's crazy. You can get a lot of kit in here, and that's with this going down as well. This goes down. People like to call it the shelf of storage there, but I would probably run with it down all the time. It just lifts out and then goes down like that. It is sweet. For a small car, a tiny car of this size, it can take a lot. So under here, got a nice new carpet, comes out, and then under here you've got a good solid full-size tyre. Now that's amazing, because all these modern cars at the minute don't come with a physical tyre, and seeing how this is already so lightweight with a 1.8 litre engine, it's just nice to have a full-on spare just in case, especially when I'm going outdoors all the time. And then this is just something I've bought with tow rope, high vis, Thor hammer for these wheels, because that's actually how they put them on and take them off. And then an original MG jack, which looks very different from every other jack I've ever seen, because there's actually proper jacking points on the side of the body. It is well over 46 years old. Now let me tell you why I would buy a classic car in 2020 and why you should maybe consider buying a classic car in 2020. So you may be asking yourself, why on earth, Jack, would you buy a classic car in 2020? Let me tell you why. By the way, there's a lot of vibration and rattles in this car that I still need to sort out. I know where they're coming from, I've figured out where they're coming from, but just a bit of blue tack and tape would do the trick. So the biggest thing for me was that it really holds its value very, very well. If I'm going to invest my money in a car, I may as well put it in something that will actually hold its value. So then when I come to resell it, I'll at least get what I paid for it, and if I actually improve the little bits that are wrong with it, fingers crossed nothing major happens, it may even be worth a couple of thousand more. You never know. You never know with these classic cars. Second point is that it's cheap car insurance. Now car insurance on this cost me 150 quid for the year, fully comp, everything included, and that is an absolute bonus, amazing. However, just for peace of mind, I did get the AA, breakdown cover, which cost a lot. I can't remember right now, but that was another 100 something on top. But then you get loads of benefits with the AA that I didn't know about. It's like you're actually joining a club, and yeah, you get loads of benefits of discounts off loads of different brands, big brands in the UK, even restaurants and theme parks. And then it would be the non-existent tax. There's literally a zero tax on this because it's classed as a historic vehicle. Any vehicle in the UK over 40 years old is actually classed as a historic vehicle. So it's classed as, like, you know, those low emissions ones, even though this isn't low emissions. Yeah, it's free, but you still have to just, you know, log onto the website and register. I think it's just so they can keep tabs on you. Then it would have to be owning a bit of British history. British Leyland was the biggest car manufacturer of the time. Like, they made these MGs, they made Jaguar, they made Rovers, they made Land Rovers at the time as well, all under one roof. Phenomenal, phenomenal. So they knew what they were doing at this time when they built this. It's so fun to drive. I love driving. I've been driving for a very long time, and I've accrued a lot of no claims bonuses, by the way. What I'm trying to say is, you don't want this as your first car. You'll wreck it. You absolutely wreck it. You need to go through a few cars first so you know what's good and what's bad about this. Like, I know that this has got a very good clutch, and but the accelerator is jammy. The brakes are very spongy and are like non-existent compared to modern cars, but that just might need bleeding. But I'm going to get onto that in the future. I'm going to do a lot of these MG videos for you as a secondary video of like how-to videos, how to do stuff, bleed the brakes, and basically discover it with me. It's not restoration. The car works fine. As long as it runs, it's fine. I'm just going to fix bits and bobs that needs doing and upgrading, like this seatbelt, for instance. I need to replace the seatbelts with proper new ones. I've got them, so I don't die. Because I buy things. I buy these things that hold their value, or historical stuff that mean a lot, for practical use. That is my rule. Not just to sit on a shelf, collect dust, or sit in a garage or on a road just to look pretty. This is genuinely to be used as my daily driver or whenever I need it, basically. So, but not to wreck it. It's like my camera kit. I don't baby it. It's there for a practical use, but it's a tool like a hammer. You need to use it. You need to use it, or else it's just going to seize up and die, and then it's useless to everyone. So I also bought this as a project car to learn and further my skills as a mechanic, but I've always wanted to know how cars work and what's better than a classic car, because these modern cars have got tons of plastic and computers in them. These old classic cars, they're all nuts and bolts and screws. So this one is actually in really well condition, and it's a well-used car, 46 years old. Really good condition for how old it is. All I was looking for, as long as there's no rust, because I heard that was a big thing of like, you don't want to get rust on the body or else you're in heaps of trouble there. This is very good condition. It's got all that, it's been treated and resprayed about 2 years ago, so all of that work has been done modernly, because all of these old cars from this era, they do rust, believe me. But yeah, it's just nice to know that this has already been done. A lot of welding has been done already. The previous owner, one of the 18 last owners, may I say, and they actually replaced all of this walnut dash and all this as well, all this leather. So it's in pretty good condition and it's been looked after, but also well used. The previous owner actually took it from Durham. I actually bought this in Durham, by the way. I went all the way up there because I'm from Nottinghamshire, which is in the heart of the country where Robin Hood's from. He took it up over the Scottish border, over the border quite a few times, because he's got family that side, so it has done its fair bit of miles up and down and kept in good working order, at least for that. So I actually bought this from Durham. I travelled all that way up to Durham and I bought it off a guy called John. He actually runs a restoration business in classic cars, so he knows his stuff, and that's called Classic and Retro Autos. Nothing sponsored at all. He didn't even know I was a YouTuber. I just went because I was interested in this car, seeing it on eBay actually. But he actually sells cars on the side. His main profession is actually doing up these cars, so it's the best person to buy it off. Anything you don't like or anything like that, you ask him to do. There may be a cost involved here and there. So he's done all sorts of tiny bits that I thought I don't want to even get into. Also, I was a bit worried that because it's based in Durham, it's quite a hefty distance away from me. I mean, he's got clients down in London and stuff as well, but he has a guy with a trailer that can easily pick it up, run it up and down within a day. It's so quick and efficient, unbelievable. He's got it, he sorts it out and gets it back to you as soon as he can. He's good, he's very good. Good at what he does. So why this make and model, you may ask? The MGB GT has got an abundance of parts readily available in the UK, and they are ridiculously cheap, inexpensive to find parts for this. So anything to go wrong with this car, at least I know that it's really cheap to find the parts and just replace the parts. I mean, there's still an outlay, but compared to a BMW, Jaguar, whatever like that, or even other classic cars, Austin, Healey, that are really quite expensive. I was quite shocked. They go for about 35 grand. And up, oh my god. So I've just pulled over because I thought it might be a bit safer to talk to you while I'm stationary. So why this model in particular? This model this year, 1974, I didn't know this prior to me buying it. I actually learned it from a few documentaries that I watched after buying it. When I was in lockdown, I binge watched a lot of stuff because I couldn't actually go out and enjoy it. I was planning everything I was going to do with it, and I wanted to know the pros and cons of what to expect. So 1974 is the cusp, or yeah, the cusp of the curvy downfall for MG, or British Leyland, should I say, because the year after that, British Leyland was trying to pander to the American and US market to sell more MGBs. It was the biggest market at the time, but that meant they had to go with their regulations, their health and safety regulations. So what they had to do was they jacked up the car, so there's more ground clearance, basically made it a lump of iron on stilts. So it didn't corner as well as it used to the original design, because it was originally designed like this, to corner and do what it can do. Then they stuck a pair of rubber bumpers on it and away with the chrome. So this was the last year make and model to have true chrome bumpers. Then it just comes back to the fact, the main fact for me is rust. Rust is a big issue with these old cars. They used to use British steel all the way up until the year after this. So 1975, something happened historically, or they just imported more sub-quality steel, and it did turn out to be sub-quality, so it would rust. The sub-quality steel was just like oxidizing a bit more than usual. It was just not as pure. So I'm just pleased that I got the better quality steel in the chassis of this car and not the imported subpar quality one. It's just nice to know that these classic cars, these MGBs, are becoming rarer every year. Now my source for this information is carlogbook.co.uk. There's only roughly about 2,000 MGBs left on the UK roads right now, with a MOT and that it can function and run properly. And out of that 2,000, MGB's GTs is the rarer model, with only 222 models left on the British roads. That's amazing, because this is only going to go up in value over the years. Next Wednesday I'm going to look at the good, the bad, the ugly of this MGB. So you can make sure to join me for that, and I hope to see you this Sunday for the Sweden series. Stay tuned to join the expedition.